Now to a murder mystery, a husband on trial after his wife died from a gunshot wound at home. Her death was initially ruled a suicide, but years later, new evidence emerged, leading authorities to charge her spouse. ABC's Clayton Sandell has that story.
New Year's Day, 2012. Ashley Fallis lays dying from a gunshot wound to her head. Her husband Tom frantically calling 911. Only hours earlier, the couple dancing in the new year. 5 separate law enforcement agencies ruled her death a suicide. The case closed.
The forensic analysis done did not support any indication that Tom was in proximity of Ashley when the shot was fired.
But this morning, Tom Fallis, a former Colorado corrections deputy, is on trial for her murder. A grand jury investigation opened in 2014 when new witness statements emerged. One neighbor claiming he overheard Fallis confessing the murder to his own parents, something they later denied in court.
When I heard him saying, "Oh my God, what have I done?" he proceeded to say, "I shot my wife."
Fallis is charged with second-degree murder.
I didn't shoot my wife. I didn't want her gone. I want her here.
His lawyer telling jurors the mother of 3 was unstable.
It was determined to be a suicide in 2012, and it's still a suicide in 2016.
And that she had even written a suicide note the summer before her death.
Dear Tom, I'm sorry with all that I've caused. I'm not happy about it. I'm sorry for your pain, but I can no longer go on living this life.
But the prosecution claims that New Year's Eve night, Tom Fallis had become irate with his wife, the two in a heated argument just before she died.
No one noticing her being anything other than happy and excited. And now she's dead.
Fallis has pleaded not guilty. For Good Morning America, Clayton Sandell, ABC News, Denver.
We're going to bring in ABC's chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. So, Dan, it goes from being a suicide to a homicide. How's the trial going right now?
Well, for prosecutors, this is a tough case. You're talking about a case where they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And the evidence that they have, 1 or 2 people saying that they heard what sounded like a confession, him seeming angry at a party the night before, et cetera. I mean, together, this is a maybe, this is possibly, but proof beyond a reasonable doubt? I think the prosecution has a serious uphill battle here because even the physical evidence, I mean, you had a crime scene specialist come in and say that based on what you saw at the crime scene, it didn't look like there was a struggle at all. So I think it's a tough case.
We heard in Clayton's report that Ashley's mental health is being called into question. How do you think that will play out?
Well, that's the defense. The defense is going to say that she had actually written what seemed like suicide notes before, that she was on antipsychotic drugs, that this is someone who committed suicide. I mean, that is the heart of the defense here.
And there's a civil suit case that's pending. Ashley's family has filed against the police, saying, in essence, because he, the husband, was a former corrections deputy, that law enforcement was protecting one of its own. How will that suit possibly play?
It's now a new police department who's actually leading the case at this point. But it does make it even tougher for prosecutors, right? Because you have the victim's family, who typically are aligned with the police, now sort of saying the police messed this up. The police made all these mistakes. And that's not helpful either for the prosecution in a case like this. So you got a lot of challenges in this case.
All right, Dan, thank you.